Hi, here we are again.
Hey guys, so we're back for another episode of Gapit50 Unpacked.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell us what unpacked means, Danielle? What's that about?
So we've got all these vlogs that Trevor has wonderfully made, but there's a lot more to share. There's a lot more that happened that you can't just fit in that 10-minute slot. So we're unpacking, just like when you get home and you unpack your bags. We've got home, we've watched the vlogs, the videos again, and now we're going to unpack them a bit more.
Yeah, and we probably have more tales to tell behind what you can see in a vlog setting. There's probably more tips we can give you too for your travel. Bearing in mind as empty nesters, long-term budget traveling, that you need tips and advice to make your money last. So we'll talk a bit about that stuff. We'll tell you maybe some stories that happen behind the camera and take you into our world as our Gapit50 journey unfolds.
Probably say comfort budget.
Comfort budget, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not on the road, we're at home on the couch, coming to you from the couch. And today's episode that we're going to watch and talk through with you is
Bratislava, Slovakia.
So at the time that we shot this is vlog number 75. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it first, and then maybe come back and join us for the unpacking part of this. But we were where, and what were we up to?
So we had just been in southern Turkey in Dalaman, and we'd had a lovely week or so there just resting, because you do need to do that when you're traveling. I think it's important. You're on the go, like we were, and then take a week or so just to chill. So we did that, and that was lovely. And then it was like, okay, where to next? So we literally just looked on flights to see where we could get for the cheapest flight.
Let's just jump back, because there were times in the trip, because you touch on a really good point, and that is when you're traveling for a long time period, it's really easy to get jaded. And so often we'd plan our travel 2 days, 2 days,
3 days, 2 days.
And then we try and give ourselves a little bit more time in a place. So
5 days.
Where accommodation was cheaper, that's where we'd, like if it was like $50 a night somewhere, we'd drag that out for 4 or 5 nights just so we could be in one place.
Yeah.
And then when it was like expensive, we might stay 2 nights.
That's right.
And then try and get to a cheaper country or a cheaper city. So Dalaman, Turkey was awesome, and you have to watch that vlog, and we might unpack that one too. It's funny that Danielle says we had to rest because I spent the week working.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I rested beside the pool while he worked.
Yeah, it was awesome.
In an air-conditioned conference room, at least.
Correct. Yeah. So, like Danielle said, this was a little bit different though, because we'd been living the resort life. This was an all-inclusive experience, really relaxed. We got quite lazy by the pool, buffet, all you can eat every night. And it was like, hey, we don't know where we're going in 3 days. Could we maybe work on that today?
Because I was in such a relaxed mode, I was like, and then,
it was like, no, we need to sort this out today.
Yes.
And so that's where this vlog, the $48 flight, found its legs.
Did you find that on Google Flights?
Yeah.
Google Flights. Okay.
Yeah. So probably just to talk through, if you haven't traveled Europe, you might not. I mean, for us here in Australasia, we understand Jetstar or Death Star, as they call it. But that's probably the cheapest airline that you can get down here, but it's not actually that cheap.
No.
They're notorious for. Anyway, I won't go into Jetstar.
But anyway, in Europe, there are a couple of really cheap budget airlines.
Yeah, and we really liked them because they were cheap. They were everywhere and easy to get bookings for. So,
and we just love that. Unlike here in New Zealand, we just love that you could get on the plane, up you go, and then like an hour and a half, you're somewhere else in a completely different country.
5 countries over from where you were.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And so our process would be like this. We're in Dalaman, Turkey, and it was just bring up Google Flights, great tool, and just type in Dalaman, Turkey, the date we wanted to leave, and we just search everywhere, and it would show you the whole map of Europe and put up dollar amounts of places that you could go to.
Yeah, and then we kind of looked, well, where did we kind of want to make our way to? Because we needed to consider after the place we were going to fly to, what were we going to see next?
And eventually our target was Berlin, but yeah, we didn't know anything about. We just saw the $48. We zoom in, and it turns out to be Bratislava, and then we decided to go there.
Yeah, so we booked it. That's where we went.
Yeah, which was cool. So there's a bunch of tools that you can use. There's Google Flights, Skyscanner, Rome to Rio is another one that will give you ideas on prices. These are all different sites that we use, but we'd also search through so like if it's a Ryanair flight that comes up on Google Flights, we'd also just check on Ryanair what their prices were too to make sure they were similar.
And then the other airlines was Wizz Air, Ryanair, and EasyJet. Yeah, those were the three, and we'd look between those three.
Yeah. And sometimes if you book on Google Flights too, probably just add in, the price you get might be through a different booking agent, so they have different cheaper prices. And I like to try and book direct with the air company if I could. So if it showed up Ryanair was the cheapest on Google Flights, I'd go to Ryanair and I'd book it through them, just in case there were hassles at the airport. I didn't want to be involved in that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into this. Vlog 75, the $48 flight. People are so cool when you're traveling.
Always so helpful.
Yeah, we just met these 3 couples that have been traveling.
Hello, sweetie.
And they're from Slovakia, and they're like,
you should go here.
You go to Bratislava, why? And we're like, we don't know, but yeah, they're very helpful. They're like, we can help you when you get on the other side, just if you need help with transport or just tell us if you need help. Like, so kind. We've been finding that everywhere. It just makes you want to be way more gracious at home when you meet tourists and just help them out or give them a pointer or just be more friendly. Because that's awesome when you're traveling and people are nice. So our mates that told us that the airport here is one of the most expensive in the world, I don't know, but a Whopper is €20 for a Whopper combo. So double that to New Zealand, that's 40 NZ dollars. Ouch. Okay, so I don't know how full this plane will be.
Hopefully this seat will stay empty. That'd be good. Then I can move over.
Welcome to Bratislava, Slovakia, country number 15. 15. Country number 15.
I'm a little bit dehydrated.
It's all very clandestine where we are. Let's pause it there. So we'll just pause it there because a couple of things fall out of that trip for us.
Yep, that airport was definitely super expensive on food. So you saw there Trevor mentioned he got did you get a Big Mac, did you say?
I was going to get a Whopper combo for 20 something euro, which is like 50 New Zealand dollars. I ended up just buying a burger.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, that's a lot of money, so maybe I can find something that's a little bit cheaper. I ended up getting a slice of pizza, which was like a slice of cardboard.
Yeah.
And that was expensive too.
Yeah, but the people we'd met in the line while we were standing to check in, they were telling us this is the most expensive airport in the world for buying food.
So had we known that, we would have bought food with us.
Yeah.
Don't buy food in the...
Don't buy anything in the Dalaman airport.
Yes, that's
just
right.
Set up to rip off tourists.
Yeah, nice looking airport building, everything, but
yeah. They definitely have to pay for that. You definitely have to pay for such a nice airport.
Yeah.
A couple of things you need to know about budget airlines. We learned as we went, and we might talk about this a bit later, around making sure that you just pay the extra little bit of money for priority.
Yes.
That will save you a heap of hassle, but we'll talk about that in another episode. But just to say, if you get a priority ticket, you'll kind of line up.
Yeah, it's like 2 lines, and the barrier is there. And so you think, okay, well, we're standing in priority. So you would think that they would let priority go first, but they seem to just open them both gates together. And then it was just like a mad rush down the stairs or to the door. and then you're all just there waiting together. So
Yeah.
it didn't really matter. But
Yeah.
the thing that did matter, and then they open the doors and you're out on the tarmac walking to your plane.
People are running though. People want to be first on so they can get their bags in.
Yeah. So your carry on, once you get in, people are wanting to get there first so they can get their carry on up above you, because if you end up getting onto the plane last, you're probably not going to be able to put your bag up. It's going to have to go under your feet.
Yeah, or on your knee, and they're pretty cramped anyway,
Yeah.
which is why we're talking about. I hope no one sits next to us.
Yeah.
Just on that, there are a couple of things. How these guys make their money is they advertise a flight for €48. So for us, we thought, man, that's cheap. We'll go to another country. We did have our big 20-kilo bags though, so you've got to pay more money to have a check-in bag.
Yeah.
And then if you want to be priority, which we recommend, you've got to pay another bit of money. So all in all.
Yeah, because when you go priority, you can have a bigger size carry-on. If you don't go priority, they've got that little space that you have to put your bag in, and it has to fit in there. We actually had a bit of Trevor had a bit of a incident where
that's a talk for another episode.
It was a little bit too big, let's put it that way. Yeah. So from then on, we
just pay priority. But if you can picture the size that you're allowed just to take as a carry-on, it's about the size of your kid's school bag.
Yeah.
With their lunchbox and no books. So I mean, it's tiny.
And who takes a carry-on that small?
Yeah.
Nobody.
No one. So just be mindful of that. So we recommend go priority. Just bear in mind, $48 when you see it on Google Flights, that's not the end price. I think we ended up paying about 90. It was about double. About 95, 96 euro each. To us, that's $200 New Zealand. We can't fly anywhere in New Zealand for $200 though. So,
no, unless there's some sale on. Yeah.
So this is international flying for less than $200.
And they are pretty, squishy seats. So
yeah.
But like I said before, the flights are really short, so you can handle an hour and a half, 2 hours being a bit squished.
So one of the things we recommend, it seemed every city we got off a plane at, there's different rules for taxis, for Uber, for whatever the case is. And we would normally ask ahead to our Airbnb or to our hotel, what should we expect to pay before we get in a taxi from the airport to you?
Yeah, so then we don't get ripped off.
Yeah, because no one wants to get ripped off. But if the general price is this, and that's what it is, and that's what your host will tell you, then don't bother arguing and fighting with people at the airport.
Yeah.
We got a taxi here. It was safe. We were happy with it. I don't feel like we got ripped off.
No.
But we had communicated to our host first. Because
you got so many different currencies every time you move country, and you really don't get a really good grip of them, how it equates to our dollar, until you actually spend some time in the country. Yeah.
And taxi drivers, worldwide, they're notorious for ripping off tourists.
Some.
Anyway, we've had some awesome taxis and taxi drivers. Okay, let's watch the next two. It's all PIN code, it's all PIN access. We're kind of hot, want a shower, thirsty. Okay, the reviews on where we're staying say that it's a bit dodgy, a bit sketchy. But when the Uber guy dropped us off here, he said, this train station just here, which we can hear, he said that it goes everywhere around the city. You guys have got such a good spot, even if it does look dodgy and we can't get in our room and we're waiting. Look at this, we're in the world's smallest hotel room, and so everything is everywhere, but it is time to go. We are in, where are we? We are in Bratislava, and we are heading out for the day. We have no idea where we are because we arrived in the dark, so let's go. Okay, well, we knew the train station was close. That's how close it is, and it's quite noisy when you're out here. Neat garden areas though, they've done this really nicely. So because the train's close, we're going to jump on one and get into the city, go and check out the old town. One of the things we do when we meet travellers is we will ask them what apps they're using, and we met this young couple on a bus somewhere and they said, we always use City Mapper, and it's a great way to get around busy big cities. So it gives you step-by-step public transport, walking, you know, you name it, you can use it. It's not that dodgy here. Okay, so well, where we are is not just the train station, it's also the major bus hub. So that's quite helpful. And we've just bought a 24-hour bus pass, train pass, tram pass, and it costs €4.90 each. So it's about $10, 24 hours, unlimited. So we've worked out what makes a really wicked brake screeching noise, and it's a tram, funnily enough, like this one.
These are CRC.
Put some WD-40 on your tyres, mate. That's probably a good place to stop and just talk about a couple of things. So firstly, the Airbnb, and to talk about how we plan our stays, where we would plan our accommodation, and typically we would look at stuff that was cheap-ish, but also stuff that was close to a shop, close to a supermarket, or close to transport, and preferably both. So if you could find somewhere that had a shop or a supermarket right on your doorstep, plus a bus stop or a train station, that tended to be our reasoning.
And we generally did, in all the places we stayed.
Yeah. Because we weren't getting rental cars, and we, you know, quite often for Kiwis, for Aussies, you just grab a rental car and you drive. For us, we wanted to experience...
didn't do much of that.
Yeah, public transport spaces, and so...
And the thing we found too, though, is public transport in Europe is awesome.
Yeah.
We just loved it. The buses, the trains, the trams, the subway. So good.
Yeah,
so good.
So we paid €4.90 or €10 or $10 New Zealand for 24 hours. As many buses, trains, trams, whatever public transport you wanted to go on, that was it.
That's great.
And they go absolutely everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So we recommend, if you're going to not be driving, not have a car, book your transport somewhere that's close to those things. So read reviews. That's a really good way to see. If a traveller puts in there, it has a supermarket across the road.
That's right.
That's a big tick. If they say the bus stop is 2 minutes walk away, that's a big tick.
Yeah, restaurants or whatever nearby.
Yeah, so that was our style. Now, this was quite a nice Airbnb. They were pricey in Bratislava, I've got to say, compared to other parts, but still cheaper than Scandinavia. But that was like 100 New Zealand dollars a night, 105. It was tiny.
Yeah, but it was good. No, it was nice. And the way that it was set up with, you know, they just send you a code, you just tap in the code, it lets you in. You know, most of the time that worked really, really well. We didn't really have any problems. This one was just a little bit of a hiccup, but we contacted the owner, and they came really quickly. And
bought lots of water for us to say sorry, which is good because we were dehydrated.
Yes.
Yeah. The other problem with that place, though, too, was they had Shogun on Netflix, and we got hooked.
That's right.
Yeah, I go to Shogun.
That's not the problem with that place. That was just the situation that...
Any place that's got Netflix that had Shogun on, it was going to ruin our day. So we're like, just one more episode.
And then we'll go out.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on to our tram tour where we were staying. And there's a walking tour thing we were looking at, and it made about 15 or 20 different suggestions to walk past. I think I've actually seen about 8 of the things on the tour just by sitting in the tram. So what I'd suggest to save your legs is you get on a tram, and at every stop you get out, you look around, you'll probably find that you've got a space right there that is something worth looking at. I feel like I'm somewhere touristy again. Look at all these people on their walking tour. Do it yourself, mate, costs you nothing. So there's a bunch of stuff down here that is all on the list of the walking tour, so we're just like whipping them out, cracking them out, quick fire. This is the Philharmonic Hall for Slovakia. Right here, this is the Danube River. It's significant for a whole bunch of reasons. You can actually get on a cruise here and go all the way up to Vienna, which, yeah, that'd be quite cool. But it's obviously a major transport hub too. The reason we came down this way though was because this is the famous landmark that they have. It's called the UFO Bridge, and up the top of the UFO you can actually go and have dinner. And our Uber driver last night recommended going there for tea, and he said you have to book because they don't have a big restaurant and you can run out of room there.
as we got off the tram and we just started walking along the streets, I said to Trevor that this reminded me a lot of like Zagreb, Ljubljana, just the really big built-up buildings, really huge old buildings. It just has that same sort of feel, and also having a river. They all seem to have rivers, which are really beautiful to walk along.
Somewhere along here there's got to be a castle or something. We are in like old Europe. There must be a castle around here. The cool thing is, this is all like ex-communist country. So you see all of the architecture that's here. It's very old. It dates back to those eras. You just picture it. It's so awesome. Hey, if you're a tourist and you're trying to find a premier tourist location in a particular city, I've got a thing about studying patterns of human behavior. You would have heard me talk about that before. If you see a big gaggle of Chinese people, you're probably in a high probability zone of finding something significant. Maybe like the Bratislava Castle. So here we are at Bratislava Castle. Pretty old place. The reviews of this, they say, you know, if you want to spend about €14, which isn't a lot to see a castle, we've paid a lot more. Then feel free to go ahead and pay your €14. We're not going to. The reviews are not that flash about the inside.
But the outside is beautiful.
Outside's beautiful, and that's what people say. Go and walk the grounds, have your photo, and up to you if you go in. You know, at my age, if you can find a free toilet, you should use it. So right here under this overpass and all this transport area, we found a toilet. It's actually very clean. I said, Daniel, if you need to go, you should go, because that wasn't too bad. So here we are. So toilets in Europe.
Oh yeah, and yeah, completely different from what we're used to here. So make sure you have with you a few euro coins. And most of the ones we went into, that would also, if you pay that euro, then you'd be given some toilet paper. But I always had like little mini wipes and toilet paper with me anyway.
Yeah, so whatever country you're in, have some of that currency in small change. Yeah. Not for buying stuff, but only just for the toilet, literally.
Yeah, and quite often, like, there would be a guy as well.
Yeah, men and women.
Like monitoring those toilets. Like, they sit there all day and they take your dollar from you. Other places, there would be, what do you call those round things?
Yeah, turnstile.
Doorway thing. You'd put your coin in, and then you could push your way in.
Yeah. But we never left anywhere without toilet paper and wipes as well. Yeah. So it was just, you just couldn't risk it. We had too many experiences when you'd be out and there'd be no toilet paper in a restroom. Yeah. Even if you paid for it, there might not be. So
I had to happen.
Yeah. Generally, if you've got to pay, they'll be clean and they should be resourced, but don't take that as read.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. The other part I'd just say about that portion we've just watched is we would do that a little bit when we got to somewhere. Danielle really likes the old town spaces.
Yes.
I think our next segment will go into that. But we would look at what tours were available in that city, in that area. Yeah. We'd look at Get Your Guide, we'd look at free walking tours and things like that. And then just pick out, that's cool, I want to see that, that's cool, let's go and visit that.
Quite often we always did the free walking tours, and when we say free, like, you know, at the end, you give a donation to the person who's taking you on the tour. And we did quite a few of those kind of walking tours. And then other times we would just see what all the main sites and attractions were. We'd look on a map, we'd plan it out ourselves, get on the subway or the tram and do it ourselves.
Yeah, the cool thing in Bratislava was the tram lines pretty much ran you past every cool thing. So there's no need to get a book tour as such. You can just get on the tram and ride.
Jump off, jump on. Right. Sure.
We're going to jump into the next portion. And I just saw it cut to it now. This is like old town, downtown space. Okay, so we're at the edge of the city walls here. The castle's just up over the back here. But look how big these city walls are. Like if you're going to build a wall, make it a wall to last. Look at that. It's not like Danielle's arm span is not even big enough to show it. This is the crazy thing in Bratislava. It kind of blows your mind. I'm standing on thousands, you know, a 1,000-year-old wall. Centuries old church. And then just over here there's this like wacky UFO bridge from the 80s. What the heck? It's so weird. And if ever there was a moment for a dun 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 dun, this is a Game of Thrones feeling spot. And then here's the other juxtaposition. You've got like, you know, 900 AD castle, and then you've got all these modern apartments in front of it. It's crazy. So it feels like we're back in a corner of postcard again.
Corner of postcard?
Yeah, like every time you turn around a corner, you see something cool, and you think, that would make a great postcard.
Yeah. This whole Europe is like that.
Funny, you've got this subtle way that you sort of make out like you're turning around to look at the thing, and you're actually adjusting your fringe, and then when you turn back around again, your fringe is all
the same.
Here you go, there is your postcard street. We're just coming up to St. Michael's Gate. Not sure which side of the gate we're on, but this is a must-see apparently. St. Michael's Gate, here it is. And it just opens up into a really pretty space, but it's under repair at the moment, so she's all go down here. They've got the old direction pointer here. Shows you how far away stuff is. Just want to say, you've lost a fan. You've lost a fan today, Bratislava. There's no Auckland, New Zealand on that indicator. It's got Sydney. Okay, that's probably a good place just to stop, because just watching this again, just looking at the old town architecture and stuff, like that's the really cool thing that I loved about when we were visiting these places in Europe, was just
all of Europe.
Old town charm, right?
Yeah.
And so you're guaranteed to see some cool stuff. If all you can do is ask a local, where is the old town? If they point you in a direction, then go to the old town, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm so glad they didn't demolish them for big brand new sparkly buildings. Yeah, I loved all the old towns that we would go to in every single country we visited and city.
Yeah, and so if you Google Old Town Bratislava, it will tell you where you want to go. St. Michael's Gate, a number of other points of interest that are there in the city that we recommend. Like, and this is all walkable. Like, we were on our feet for probably two or 3 hours just wandering around because we really liked it.
Yeah, and that's I think I found that was the great part about the old town, where that was situated. And of course, there's the biggest city around it or beside it or whatever, but it was always walkable.
Yeah, generally flat, which was nice, because a lot of our walking you're up and down, but here in Bratislava it was nice and flat, open, and these beautiful streets just open out into the most awesome looking squares where obviously people come and congregate and hang out. But
lots of restaurants.
Yeah, heaps.
We had a really nice breakfast right there.
We'll show you that in a sec, I think. But just the idea of the architecture of yesterday and then today, like it's weird, like that UFO bridge thing that I point out when we're standing in a 1,000-year-old town city wall. But yeah, the way they've kept them both still going.
I think that the old architecture in Old Town looks so much better.
Yeah.
So much nicer.
Yes, and this is the other interesting thing about Bratislava is we didn't know anything about it before we got there.
No.
But it's a place that I would say if you're traveling through Central and Eastern Europe, make sure you go, because it's such a cool place and it's very affordable. Food was reasonable, accommodation was reasonable, public transport was awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably don't go. They probably say, "Oh, let's go to Paris and let's go here." And but I think this is one of those little hidden gems. We didn't see loads of tourists, which was cool. That was another thing I liked about it. Well, let's see what breakfast looks like and run us to the end. Here's about Australia. A place called Urban Bistro, and we only stopped because like every table is full out front. and not every table is full at the other ones. And when we sat down and looked at what people are eating around us, it looks pretty good. This sort of has a vibe about local hang, but feels like food from home. I paid a little bit extra to get some bacon. Haven't seen it for months. If you Google what are the top 5 things to do in Bratislava, one of them is to go to the statue or monument to the lazy worker, and this is the lazy worker right here. You can see how shiny it is and how brassy it is. The word on the street is if you rub his head, it will bring you good luck. Okay, well that was Bratislava, Slovakia, the $48 destination.
Yeah, it was great.
So yeah, any enduring memories, Danielle, or takeaways or last minute advice about that area?
I think so. I think we've pretty much covered everything.
Okay.
Anything for you?
Well, I think one of my enduring memories there was that when our host arrived at the accommodation, because I've been standing out just at one stage watching trains go past, and one of them went past, and it had tanks and military hardware on it, had military trucks, tanks, artillery, big cannons and stuff.
Right.
And I remember watching going, oh, I wonder where that's going. And for me, I was like quite curious. And so when I asked the host, he was like, oh, that is going to Ukraine. Go Ukraine. And I had not at that stage thought anything about
how close
Ukraine and Russia and where we were geographically.
Yeah, how close we were.
It wasn't until he said that I was like, oh, shoot, like how far away is it? And he said, oh, we're okay here. It's about 400 kilometers or maybe 400 miles. And I remember just thinking, dude, that's close. Like we live in a really peaceful part of the world here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
We don't see conflict and stuff like that going on. So for me, that was something that really stuck in my mind about our time there in Bratislava as well.
Yeah.
Anything else from you? Cool. All right. We'll see you in the next couch episode.
Bye.
Do a little posy type thing.
Posy?
Because I've got to do a screenshot of us sitting on the couch and then impose it on the thumbnail.
Okay, we'll take our things off.
No, leave it on, that's all right. And just, so this is the $48 plane ride. So I guess we could do something a little bit, what could we do that would look okay? Maybe like
that. Okay, here we go.
Go, there you go.
Is it?
Right, and I'll just screenshot that.
Is it go?
It looks like you're touching my, look at me.
Hi.
Okay.